It's been an incredibly hard year.
And there's still a person and it still hurts. And even if you're a famous person who gets trolled and gets abuse and gets like Marmite, you know, love them or hate them, every time somebody says they hate someone and what they do and what they stand for, like, it hurts.
But I think there's always lessons to be learned in mistakes. We genuinely do care and we genuinely do want to support, but if by us choosing that route initially offended and upset or disgruntled or whatever it was, made you think less of us, then we're sorry.
Are you in a McDonald's coma?
McDonald's? Who says McDonald's?
I say McDonald's. Who's with me? Who calls it McDonald's?
No one, because it's spelled muck.
Okay. Well, anyway, Joe's just
What do you call it? A McFlurry then?
I don't really say that word. So I wouldn't know.
A McMuffin?
No.
An egg McMuffin?
An egg McMuffin. Maybe I do, actually. Maybe I do. Anyway, Jo's just seen a McDonald's and she's regretting
I am regretting my life
choices.
choices. Don't do it, folks. Steer clear. It's not worth the bloat. Right, awesome episode. Well done. Let's go.
Oh, so it's going to get worse than this.
Well, yeah.
We are doing imagine we're in the car chatting on the way here.
Might be in the car for the people listening.
Yes, but imagine we're in the car on the way up to Peterborough to do our podcast recording. It's a couple of hours and we chat. And this is effectively a little fly on the wall opportunity to hear what we would say in the car.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you've set the premise and all the visual that this is like a pre-recorded car talk, but it's not.
Pre-recorded. We're not in the car, FYI. We are in the studio, but I want it to have that vibe.
Yeah, almost like a behind the scenes of this is Vicky and I chatting shit on a regular basis anyway.
Shit with some like...
Shit with substance.
Shit with substance. Shit with some good meaning behind it.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just going to open it up and lay it bare as it is. It's
we're always reflecting, and this is a big reflection on.
It's been a hard year.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a challenge.
It's been an incredibly hard year. When did it start getting hard?
God, I actually can't remember the exact pinpointed moment. I actually can't remember it.
Ryan's being naughty.
What's he doing?
I'm not going to do it because I'm going to go off and start laughing, crying down the...
well, this is already take 2 for us. So.
It is take 2, yeah. So, what's the saying? What did you say? When did it start? Yeah. I don't actually know, you know. I think in order to set the scene a little bit, some of you may or may not have noticed that we actively state now that Canine Business Academy is a force-free, positive reinforcement, rewards-based, whatever label you want to attach to it, business, in that we will support dog businesses that reflect those values. Now, when we first launched CBA, we didn't have that clear stance.
No, we didn't really even consider it, to be honest.
No.
And for background and for context, we are force-free trainers. I still have an issue with that term force-free, you know, even though
I know you do.
That is what we are. We are force-free trainers, always have been, stand by that, live by that, breathe by that. And yet when we started Canine Business Academy, it never entered our brains to even have that as anything that needed to be talked about, really, because in our minds, we were just dealing with business.
Yeah. And again, maybe because, and the honest answer is, I genuinely don't know, because it didn't enter our head. I don't know if we subconsciously thought, oh, because that's how we operate, that's who we're going to attract, because there genuinely wasn't any conscious thought
no plan
behind it. No,
was there? And yeah, we may, oh God, I'd have to listen back to the early podcast episodes, but we may have referenced who we've trained with, like what we've done. And I guess we would assume that people would understand that that's what it is. But then we did attract some people from different camps, and it still never bothered us at the beginning, did it?
No. And I think, my voice has gone off now. I know for us, we genuinely see people as people, and maybe to our detriment.
Yeah, I think we were seeing the qualities in the right people that we were attracting, and just seeing that and not considering the bigger picture.
Yeah. And in the grand scheme of it, I want to say it was, out of the 100 or so people that have come through the doors, less than a handful have fallen into that category. Like, I want to even say less than 4.
Maybe. No more than 4.
Definitely no more than 4. And this was like way early on. And being honest, like, we had no problem with those people, because we were genuinely looking at the person. They were lovely. They were doing what they knew to be true, I suppose. And again, naively, we didn't, I don't know, we'd almost like banned the methodology talk off the table a little bit, didn't we? We was like, we don't need to talk about it. It's just, how can we help you and the business? And we didn't honestly think about anything else.
No, and to this day, we still don't talk about it. It's not a taboo subject, but we doesn't really come into it.
No. Although, interestingly, I think since we've gone into owning this space more, we were saying this the other day, wasn't we? Like, it's kind of coming up more in group coaching calls.
But it's not the reason. Like, it's not an integral part of how we teach people and coach people, is it?
No, not at all. So this year we have obviously grown quite significantly, which we're really proud of. Mm-hmm. And that could sound a little bit like we're patting our own backs, but
hey, we're just reaching goals that we'd planned. Yeah, that's it. It's really funny though, because I don't know about you, but I get asked a lot about, is Canine Business Academy, like, has it exceeded your expectations? Is it done better than you thought it was going to do? And I'm like, nope, it's exactly where we wanted it to be. Yeah. And people are really surprised by that answer, actually.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I don't like have that giddy feeling as such, because I was like, no, we've all fucking worked hard for it. It's been very, very purposeful. And I've loved every moment of it. Well, maybe not every moment of it.
Well, you'll see after this episode.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. So, being completely honest, like at the start of this year then, I don't know when it started to turn, to be completely honest, because we were always open about it with people who came into the group, or at least we thought we were. Because that's probably is where it went a little bit wonky. So we had people come into the business. We genuinely thought we had shared that, we work with mixed trainers, and that it was deemed okay as they proceeded to continue wanting to work with us. And then all of a sudden we
got some kickback, didn't we?
Yeah, some kickback from some clients, which understandably, do you know what I mean? Like, I get it. I totally understand that for someone who is so passionate about dog welfare and really wanting to do right by dogs and by the public and everything else, I can see and I can understand, and do you know what I mean? I've never not understood it, how it could affect you. And I don't even feel like I want to say but, because it feels like it undermines or devalues that feeling, but it is a but of, I think we were surprised by how much we got kicked back with, considering we thought we'd done our best in opening up that space to go, it should have felt like a safe space. And I felt like it did. And I suppose, I don't know, it hurt, didn't it?
Yeah, it did hurt, because even despite the opinions of some people, we never compromised on how that the group work felt with those people. Those people were working together, helping each other, supporting each other, and they were just being humans to each other, like nice human beings. And therefore, like, when we started getting that kickback, we were like, but hold on, that's not what we're seeing in there.
Yeah.
We're not seeing like a big divide in there. We're not seeing like issues in there and arguments in there. We're seeing this really nice, supportive community in there. So this doesn't, something's off here.
Yeah.
And I think that's what hurt a lot,
Yeah, because actually our intention all along was, again, I'll put my hands up now. Well, we'll put our hands up now and say naively, because it was naivety. It wasn't intentional at all. Naively, we thought if we could break down the barriers between the two camps, if we could play a tiny part in trying to just bridge the gap a little bit and just open up conversations and allow people to connect on that human to human level, and then who knows what's possible. Like, to be adult enough to have a conversation and go, do you know what? I may not understand what you do, but I'm curious, to the point where, and again, this may sound arrogant, and it's again not the intention, but if we are talking to someone who is in the balance community and they know full well that we are a force-free trainer, but because we've been so open and kind and caring, and we've created a human relationship, who knows where it will go? And actually, and this was never the intention, was it?
No.
We had one person from the balance community who did actually scrap all of the balance training.
Yeah.
And was like, oh my gosh, I've never really seen it like this.
And that was kind of by accident, because
it was very much
we
by
fed
accident.
back from something that he'd asked us about, and we felt really uncomfortable with it, didn't we? And we were just really honest we really struggled. It was like a video that we were watching, and we were like, oh my God, this is really hard to watch. And I was like, being completely honest, this is how we felt about it, but that isn't what this is about. And he was like, oh, no, stop, tell me more about that. And then by just giving our own opinions on what we were seeing, how it made us feel, he then sort of started looking into more about the training methods and going like, do you know what? I really totally agree with what you're saying. And I think there's a different way of doing it.
Yeah. And he actually went and hired a force-free trainer and got them to come in as a consultant and really change the business. So for us, it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we have done it. We
what
have
an amazing
changed
feel-good
something.
fact. Even though that wasn't the intention, we didn't go in with thinking, haha, we're going to get you balance trainers to start thinking differently. Zero intention of that. And again, I'm really hoping you can hear the sincerity in all of this, because it genuinely was not, that wasn't our mission. Our mission is to help dog professionals understand business so that we can, earn more, have more time, do the freedom
Stay
thing.
in the industry.
Stay in the industry so that this education can get out there, so that dogs get a better life. Like, ultimately, that's the end goal. That's the byproduct of everything. So naively, we'd been reinforced for this accident of going, oh, well, if that's just happened, then what's to say it couldn't happen again? And again, but without the conscious intention of, oh, that's why we'll market that. Because actually, we didn't even market to anybody, did we?
No. We put an in-person strategy day on, and we also had really nice conversations between mixed, like, training method trainers in there as well. So that kind of reinforced it to us and went like, oh, that's interesting, because they're now open to that kind of way of doing things. And that wouldn't have happened if we hadn't put this on. And almost like accrediting ourselves, like just going, tick, that's great for us. Like, we've done this, we've done that, without it being a ego-y thing.
I was going to say, it sounds so ego, but
and it wasn't. It
really
wasn't like that. It was just like, look what we've done here. Yeah. Kind of accidentally, kind of like it's just been a byproduct of what we've put on that day and who we've had in the room. And look at the awesome human beings that are able to be grown up about it, an adult, have nice conversations around it. Great. So that was two particular instances. We felt like we really had been reinforced with that kind of thinking of we were making a difference and trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. And then we had one client that stayed with us who was an e-collar trainer.
Yeah.
And we got on with this person so well. Like, it was a really nice relationship, wasn't it? It was lovely. And again, we could almost not, I say naively, we did know she was an e-collar trainer, but that naivety, I think, for us in going, we wasn't consciously looking at the impact we were having, because we were looking at the impact we were having on this particular individual in a positive way. And these were the conversations we were having between ourselves and going, oh, if we could refer work on.
Yeah, that was a big thing, wasn't it?
Could we do it?
And we never did it.
Never did it.
We could have easily done it many times. And I don't, you know, when something subconsciously is blocked from you being able to action something, in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, that person's not a million miles away from us and we could easily refer. And I just never did it. And I remember us having a conversation about this, going like, have you ever actually, you know, sent anybody that way? And I'm like, no. Have you? No. Why not? Because I actually don't feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
And you said the same.
And this was this turning point of going, oh, maybe this isn't the right thing for us to be doing then. And this is where like it ended up being a really brutal conversation, didn't it? Of we're realizing that our personal values of trying to be a decent human being, or our version of a decent human being, of just being able to look at the person in front and try really hard through all of these years of personal development we've heavily invested in for ourselves, of being able to look past the obvious sometimes and just try and see the person for who they are, and going, you know, I think we've done an episode historically on if you were that person in their circumstances and their upbringing and all of that stuff, then maybe you'd be making the same decisions and you just don't know. So really trying to put yourselves in their shoes. And we realise that that's such a strong personal value, but we've almost gone against our own beliefs then of how we would like dogs to be treated.
Yeah, but there's a stronger personal value that got in the way as well.
Oh yeah.
So Joe and I don't, we go against the grain on a lot of things, and we are, you know, like you home educate. I have never liked being told what to do in as much as, you know, when there's like a mass thing that has to happen. I don't even want to say it. But a few years ago, something massive happened in the world and I had very, very strong opinions about it, going, no, I'm not doing that and I'm not going to be told what to do. And I've kind of always had that kind of running through me, always been a bit of a black sheep in the family, the one that has to do something different from everyone else. And you're a little bit similar. And this was something that we didn't realise we were putting in our own way, because we were like, we're not being told to pick a side. We're not being told to add to the divide and add to the problem in this industry. No one can tell us what to do. So that came out. And I think that was the thing that really like caused us a lot of trouble in the end.
Yeah, it was that stubbornness to
Didn't
go.
want to back down, did we?
No.
And I remember I can see the conversations we were having with people, like, how dare somebody try and put us in a box, and how dare somebody tell us what we can do and what we can't do, and there were opportunities coming and knocking, and people were like, you've got to pick a side here. It's that
defensive nature that I think every single one of us as a human being has. As soon as you're made to feel wrong, no, I'm not. What do you mean?
You're wrong. I'm not wrong.
Yeah, immediate. Even if you know, oh, actually, you may have a point. It's like, nope, you've made me wrong, so now my back's up.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it even more now because you've said that.
Yeah.
It's kind of that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we didn't even realise, like, this now is easy for us to laugh about and think about on reflection. But at the time, we were so in it, so brick wall against it. Yeah. Remember our mentors trying to have conversations with us?
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal. We were like, you don't know our industry. You don't know what it's like. Arguing back with these people who were like trying to help us and going like, whoa, girls, stop.
Yeah. Yeah. It was that one question that still rings
I was going to say that's got to come up
in my head now, which came up a few times actually from various different people. Of like, okay, so just so I understand, and this is people not in the dog industry either. So they were genuinely coming at it as genuinely help me understand, because I don't really know what you're saying.
Which we needed, by the way. We needed to hear this.
It's like you're saying things in jargon to me because I'm not a dog trainer. I'm not a dog owner. I don't know anything about dogs. I don't understand what you're saying. Help me understand. So you're saying you're happy to work with people that, like you've said, will use techniques on dogs that could inflict pain, but you're happy to help those people inflict pain on dogs. And we were like, well, no, but... yeah, but then why should we have to be the ones that say you can't work with us and you can? And he's like, well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying what you've just said to me. You're not comfortable with that type of approach, but you're happy to work with people that do use that approach. And we were like, oh, fucking hell.
Why have you just asked us that really hard question? Because you know you're right and we know we're wrong and we don't want to say that you're right and we're wrong. That's what was going through my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, there was a period of time earlier this year where, and I don't know if this would have, again, it's really hard to see what's people's perception of us and this business, because we're in the thick of it all the time. You can almost,
you are with your business listening to this.
You can almost be in your own little bubble and have no idea what's going on. Like, you don't know if this is a thing. You don't know if there's murmurs, but I feel like there are.
There are murmurs. We've heard.
And you know what? And I suppose this is a bit of a public apology, really, to go like, if we have genuinely upset and pissed any of you off, I'd like to think that if you don't know us personally from working with us, or if you have listened to us long enough, I'd like to think that you would know we genuinely do care and we genuinely do want to support. But if by us choosing that route initially offended and upset or disgruntled or whatever it was, made you think less of us, then we're sorry.
And vice versa for those that the other way around, who now don't like the decision we've made to take force-free trainers only. We're sorry to you as well, because that was not our intention.
No, none of it has ever been
hurt anybody or upset anybody or make anybody feel unwelcome or any of the things.
Yeah, but we know we have upset people.
Yeah.
And that has upset us.
Oh God, yeah.
Deeply. It sounds really almost, it feels a bit weird to say it out loud, but the amount of hours spent on the floor in like tears, like that shaking, the stress rash, the not being able to sleep, oh God, I feel emotional just even thinking about it now, because it was such a difficult time for us and we are such people.
Yeah, at one point, I'll even say this, it felt like everything was crumbling away.
Yeah.
And I was ready to fucking walk away at one point. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, is it worth all this? Yeah,
it was a lot. And from people that we've spoken to, I don't think this was the public knowledge bit. This was, and quite rightly, it should have been kept behind scenes, because at that time, if we'd have tried to do this episode at that time, it wouldn't have been the right thing to do.
No.
Like, we always knew we wanted to bring this to everybody, but it needed to be at a time when we felt stronger in us again, because I think we lost a bit of confidence in what we were doing.
Yeah, we did. And we weren't ready to share it, because we weren't fully back on that path. Like, I'd say it's taken a good few months for us to actually get back on our proper path and back to the old Joe and Vicky and the passion and the excitement and the vision for the business that we had before. Not that we didn't lose it completely, but it really did falter for like a bit.
Yeah, it was. And you know what? I actually think, being honest in reflection, we had a comment that there was a period of time, and I don't know the exact amount of time that this person was referring to, but that we almost came across as a little bit cocky and a bit ego. And my gut feel is, and again, I could be wrong because I don't know the detail, my gut feel is that was maybe at that time when we were feeling very defensive.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because it makes sense too, because I don't feel like we are those people.
No, but I think we were probably just going like, fuck you, industry. Like, we're just going to do whatever we want, regardless of what you're trying to make us do. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to fit us into that space that we don't want to be in.
Yeah. It's almost like just lost our way. What's our identity? We're just going to try and hold on to anything and everything we can.
Yeah. Almost trying to be like Rebel Core Collective again.
Yeah.
Like, we are rebels. We can do what we want. We're not listening to what you're telling us to do. Yeah. And almost like that kind of anarchy. Like, again, like, it's only now we can laugh about it now, and we can look at it and go like, what a time that was. But it really was a tough period. And I know we keep saying it, but it was. And we don't expect loads of sympathy off of this, by the way, because we don't need that. We are quite resilient, and, you know, we've been through a lot, like the entire time we've had this business, with various different things going on, as you probably know. But that's made us better people, because we are now righting that wrong that we did.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is, you know, if any, this wasn't meant to be like a specific lesson based topic as such, but I think there's always lessons to be learned in mistakes. And I think it's good to just own your mistakes sometimes. Not even sometimes, just own them. We will own that we made a mistake for the business based on what we actually believe, because our belief has always been, the way we've operated as dog trainers is, we do wholeheartedly believe in rewards based. We do wholeheartedly believe in that force free, you know, that the non-aversive way. Like, we do wholeheartedly believe in that. And our personal values is that we still can see human beings for human beings. And whilst we don't agree with how that camp, if we're going to call it that, trains, I would still quite happily have a conversation with them.
Yeah, and we still maintain with the clients that we have now is that we want you to treat other people with respect regardless of how they train.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always a big thing for us, wasn't it? Like, when you have people tearing someone else down on social media that doesn't do things the way you do, or you don't agree with them, we always try and bring it back to, like, how does that help you and how does that help them? And they're still a human being. And if you're going to do that to them, you might think it's okay because they can take it, because look at how they train dogs or whatever. But actually, take that away from them. Take that part of their identity away, and they're still a person, and it still hurts. And even if you're a famous person who gets trolled and gets abuse and gets like Marmite, you know, love them or hate them, every time somebody says they hate someone and what they do and what they stand for, like, it hurts. And so, like, I feel like out of all of this, we have kept that, and we always will. And we'll go like, yes, we don't train like that. Yes, we don't work with people who train like that anymore. However, we are not going to accept you talking about people in a derogatory way and tearing people down, because that is not what CBA is about.
No.
And at least we can control that now.
Yeah, and it's weird, isn't it? Because we've said ever since we made this decision that it felt like a weight's lifted off our shoulder. Because again, even though we naively, subconscious, whatever it is, went into this business going, we just genuinely didn't even think about the divide, which feels so stupid when you say it right now, because we've always known it's been there.
Yeah, but I think in as much as how we used to train and how we ran our businesses, we always just stayed in our lane and never really focused on that stuff, even though I know it goes, like, I know people don't train like me, and you know people don't train like you, but because we're so good as individuals to just keep doing what we're doing really well and not worry about that kind of stuff, I'm not sure it ever really, that just continued into CBA, and we didn't look at the bigger picture of the impact it could have if we didn't take a clear line.
Yeah.
And I think genuinely that is it. It's because that's how we operated as dog trainers. We go into CBA and then we don't. And genuinely, I think that's where we fell down, or we just did the right thing for us, or what we thought was the right thing for us.
Yeah. So it's I say it's weird to say it was a mistake in one way, because it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't, but it was. It was a bit of everything wrapped up, and this is where we were like deliberating for ages, wasn't it? Like the conversations, and to the point where we were like, I just can't talk about it. Let's just try and crack on. And then we couldn't crack on because this was still bubbling in the background. And I cannot describe the impact it had on each of us personally to its true extent, because I've moved past it now.
Yeah.
But at that time I was like, Vic, I literally cannot look at that inbox.
You really like concerned me the way you were not dealing with it very well.
Yeah, I was like, I cannot do it. I cannot go anywhere near that inbox, because if an email comes in and it's another negative one,
it just made you feel sick.
I was like,
to
I
the
can't
point
do
of
it. Yeah.
literally like just wanted to run and hide away from it.
Yeah.
And that's what your response was, wasn't it? Run
Yeah.
and hide away.
And I still couldn't run and hide because I remember I was away with my sister. We'd gone out on like a little bit of a boozy weekend. Which again, like that's precious time for me and my sister. We don't get that because we've got the kids and there's no one to look after them really. So that was a really precious time that we had. And oh God, I do feel emotional about it now because what was happening with the business, that took away that joy from that weekend. That took time away from me and my sister where we don't get that time together all that often.
Mm.
And the impact that it has on everybody else around you.
Yeah, because it all consumed us, didn't it?
Mm.
Every conversation in my household anyway was about it.
Yeah.
And like poor Gareth and poor Darren, like they must have got the brunt of us. Again, at that point where we were like defensive about everything, and then to the point where it's happening and we were in this big shit show of stuff that we were being threatened with and all this stuff. And we're like, fuck, this could like fold the whole thing. Like this could literally ruin our reputation and everything about it. And that whole way is like a roller coaster of different emotions, of like anger and then like upset and then like, how are we going to get out of this? How are we going to recover from it? And are people going to like us anymore? And you know, all of those emotions going through it. So they put up with a lot. I mean, they've put up with a lot in general over the last 2 years, but like particularly the last few months, they've been good.
I feel less sorry for them. They chose us as life partners.
I know, but still, yeah, have to give them some credit for this.
Yeah, but, yeah, it was it's really hard to articulate just how, because in a weird way, if you look at it logically now, it's daft in one way. It's like, right, okay, so one or two people didn't like that you work with, that you had one other person or two other people in the business that you didn't like how they trained. So all the shit fell on us, which we will take responsibility for, by the way. Like I'm not, what's the phrase? Shirting?
Deflecting.
Skirting? Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not taking away our responsibility in that because obviously we've played a part. But again, like the grand scheme of things, the fact that we were thinking we're going to have to fold the business down, we're going to, like, we've lost everything. We don't want to do it anymore. Trust, yeah. Everything's gone, like our passion's got all of this because we took on 2-3 people from a values match on a personal level. And again, naively didn't look at it, but to receive what felt at the time like quite a hateful attack back.
Mm. And it did feel like a personal attack.
It did feel like a very much personal attack. And again, like I understand it. And this is the really hard thing. Like it was hard to receive. It's hard to agree with it, but I understand it.
Yeah, me too.
So everything's kind of like wrapped in one where we're going, well, you're not wrong. You're not right. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. It's just a thing.
It's a lack of forethought. That's what it was.
And it's been really hard to move past it. And we still think about these people now. I won't say it keeps us up at night anymore, but it did for a very long time.
It did for a bit, yeah.
But I don't even know if these people still listen to our podcast. If
not.
You do, you will know who you are, who we're talking to. But I'd be lying if I said like it doesn't cross our minds about that time and those people and how much it's affected us and how much we'd love to almost make it right, but you just don't know how to.
You don't know how to do that, do you? And you don't know whether anyone's going to want that and want an olive branch or not or what. So it's a really tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah. And I suppose this is the joy of, and it's the honesty, which I hope is the kind of theme you're getting from this episode of it's the real life of running a business.
Yeah. New level, new devil.
Because you're not going to have, I mean, you can have the best laid plans. You can have the best intentions. But you're only human.
Yeah. And we've never been through this before. Like we never, like as much as we got the strategic plan for the business, you cannot plan for every single eventuality, every tiny little thing that could happen. Like you cannot do. You're not superhuman. You are just navigating your way through. And again, it comes back down to the values and the who and the why and the purpose and the passion parts for us, and go like, just know that the intention was never to do anything to hurt anyone, and that's all we can say really on it.
Yeah, that's it. But it's it's still a bit, I cannot believe like how emotional I feel talking about this, considering we've been like really good lately.
Yeah, we've almost kind of like acknowledged, like not gotten over it, because I don't think we ever will get over it fully, but it's like that big thing happened, that was really shit for a while, that did this to you and this to me, and then we're like kind of looking back on it, but almost like compartmentalized it in a way, to be able to move forward. But then isn't it funny how when you start talking about it, and when those the emotions around the events that happened, what they bring to the surface, and that's what it feels like now. Which is why we could never have done this a few months ago.
God no, it was yes, lots and lots of tears have been shed over this, and it's and I think it is the
it's like the stages of grief. I would like.
Do you know what? I would totally agree. I would totally agree.
It's the anger and the upset and the all of those things that you would go through when you lose somebody. Yeah. Well, because we lost clients. Yeah, we did. So it was
a whole grieving process, because we lost people that we genuinely had such great relationships with. Well, we thought we had great relationships with, and we really valued those relationships, and I still value those relationships as much as it felt like it turned sour in the end.
Yeah, and it's so such a shame, because they were getting a lot from. So we think getting a lot out of the work that they were doing with us and the impact they were making on dog owners and dogs and things like that. So that almost goes like that was severed like way too early, and that meant that actually we never completed that role, if you like, with those people, and that's sad as well.
Yeah, there's no way you could look at that situation and say it's not sad.
Yeah,
like it's sad for everybody involved. It's not sad on us. This isn't, and I hope it's not coming across as like shit on them. It's like, it's not at all.
No, it's not at all.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just really.
It's a series of unfortunate events. Is the way I'd look at it. Lemony snickets.
Oh, yes, indeed. But this is the reality of like running a business with purpose, with passion, because sometimes that passion can take you down a different path. And I think you may not be fully aware of it, but I think you'll know deep down that something feels a little bit off. And I think that's where we got to eventually. We were like,
the gut feel.
Do you know what? Like this gut feel has been ever since it's become a little bit of a thing. And this was prior to this particular issue with people that were working with us. I can't even remember what it was, but just something felt not quite right. Almost like we almost couldn't be 100% us.
I think as well, it was just us being, the awareness of us was growing, and the types of people that were working with us was getting more and more prominent, I suppose. And people were knowing us for something, and then going like, do you know they work with those kind of people? And do you know that? And I think it was a lot of that as well. I think it was just a product of us growing and being more aware, like people being more aware of us in the industry. That probably was part of it for me, I think.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, and because then that awareness of going like, oh, actually, do we want to be known as that?
Yeah, and it makes me think like, were people saying, oh, you know, them two girls, the ones that work with balance trainers as well? Like, I don't know, but that's in my mind. It was like, that's probably what people were starting to say.
Yeah, no, well, you're right. We do know this.
Yeah,
we do know that this is.
But you know what we started doing as well was looking at other people in the industry. This is what we did, didn't we? Oh, but that person, they work with people building their websites, and that person works with social media, and that person does it. Do they only work with force retrainers, and do they stop people that are balanced working with them? And that was part of that defensiveness, wasn't it?
yeah.
Going like, well, they're not doing it, and that's okay for them. So why is it any different for us? And really kind of like that kind of language around it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was not a good version of us.
Not a good version.
Not a good version of us at all.
When I look back at that and look at what I was saying and doing and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, cringe.
But you know what it all comes from? It's fear.
Fear that they're right.
Well, it was the whole thing's just fear.
Yeah.
It's like everything that you do is that defense is fear.
Mm.
It's like fear of getting it wrong, fear of being judged,
Yeah.
fear of not being liked.
Yeah.
All of that stuff
Rejection
is at play, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're human.
Yeah.
I don't want to think I've upset anybody. Like it kills me to know that we've upset people.
Yeah. Joe's over fixer side comes in.
Over what?
Fixer when you
fixer.
You know when you that's not the right term, but you know if you think you've done something wrong, you're like, oh my God, let's do this, let's do that, let's do the other, and then I'm like, whoa, Joe, like we're going way too far the other way now.
I do. It's my default stress if I think I've upset someone is to go like, oh my God, how can I make it right?
Give
like
them the world.
Yeah, like,
and I'm like,
have my soul.
No, that is not the answer.
Let me figure out how I can make this better, because it's and again, like it's hard to know that you've upset someone.
Yeah.
It's really difficult, especially when all your intentions have been good. And it's hard, and it's hurtful to think that people think your intentions aren't good.
Mm.
But ultimately, that's life as well. Like, you can't, us sitting here bearing our souls now, there could be some of you listening going like, oh yeah, whatever.
I'm sure the people are listening going, yeah, well, that's bullshit, or I still don't like what you did and I'll never forgive you for it and blah, blah, blah. And I would, maybe make a statement to say, like, if you don't like what you hear from these podcasts, you don't have to listen to them. So my gut feel would say that most people who are listening to this and maybe listen to this and the next episode, because we haven't put you off us, actually want to, like, are invested in that journey, and are actually connecting with us as a human being that is being vulnerable and putting ourselves out there. And, we've deliberated about this episode as to whether we should do it or not. And, even just before we went live with it, we were like, oh my God, like, are we actually going to do this thing? But we have to do it. We have to do it for us as our integrity bit, for us as our, like, we want you to trust us, and we want you to I don't know, to know not everything about us, but we want you to have that awareness of what it's like growing a business, whether it's small, whether it's big. You're going to encounter things along the road, but also like how we've been able to deal with it, I suppose. And what I would say is, like, a big learning for us is, like, we tell people to have 2 lists of values, a business set and a personal set. And what we didn't do very well is they're always going to cross over in some ways, because that's just the nature of things. You've driven to do things for your business because of your personal values and vice versa. But we let that interfere, and we let that be detrimental to the success of the business potentially. Yeah. And we were shutting doors on the business, like on the success of the business based on those personal values. And if we had, the beauty we have is there's 2 of us. And what I would say is, if you're on your own, which a lot of you will be.
Well, and we invest in mentors.
It was having somebody there that you can chat these things through with and get advice from and guide you and mentor you and all of that stuff. Like, I can't say how valuable that kind of advice is for us as well as.
Well, yeah, because talking things through, because ultimately there was even periods of time. And I'd say there's been other periods of time, but nothing of this significance, where you and I aren't always going to agree initially.
We don't.
Because again, we've got different lived experiences, we've got different opinions on things. Like,
work.
And like, for the most part, 99% of the time, it's fine. It all works out because we're so aligned in everything else. But that 1%, we're like, so actually on this, we did agree, but at different. We were going through that journey differently, and like we were viewing things from different people's views, and almost like just at different times. Like you could be a week behind where my thoughts were, and then it'd catch up, and then you'd be like 2 weeks ahead of where I was, and I wasn't ready to get there yet. And so yeah, having that external input, I think, was incredibly valuable.
Yeah. And even just somebody asking that question in the way they asked it, that was nothing to do with the industry, that made us go, huh. Mm-hmm. That is a really shitty question in one way, but a really good question. And we needed to be asked that question to actually stop and think, what are we doing here? And what damage could we cause here if we carry on like this?
Yeah.
It was like a car crash waiting to happen almost, wasn't it? That if we hadn't stopped when we did, I don't know what would have happened otherwise.
Well, yeah, because this is it. Because again, I think it was what's felt really nice actually about making that decision. And I remember the night we made it. It was in a bar with several other dog professionals, and it was just you almost felt like there was a really hot spotlight on you. And we were like, this doesn't feel good. This does not feel good. I do not like being in this position. Almost as if I was stood there naked is how it felt. Like, I don't like this. And I'd say we'd had a few to drink. We didn't really, like, we'd had like a glass of wine.
Oh, yeah, it was very minimal. It wasn't.
But I think with the emotions around everything, like we literally sat in this bar and broke down.
But isn't it funny that before that happened, we were blaming the whole environment and the people in the room and everyone else.
Yep.
Apart from us. We weren't in the wrong. But everyone else was played a factor in it. Well, something feels wrong here, and that's a weird vibe, and that's not right. And actually, again, like we'd already be having all of these thoughts and doubts and everything about like the whole situation. But then that moment was the point where we were like, it's almost like big fingers, you know, those like foam fingers in Gladiator, pointing at us, going like, it's you. You're the one that can change this. You're the one that can control, like you're the one that can just make this better in a second. You're in your own way and you are the answer to your problems.
It's so weird how it just built up to that point, and we both just knew it at that moment. Like we hadn't even spoken about it, had we? Like it hadn't been a thing. And then we were just literally sat at this table, like sat on the floor at one point and
Can't
just
do this anymore.
just totally broke down.
Yeah.
And we was like, no, we've got to, what are we doing this for?
Yeah.
And again, in the grand scheme of things, we were like, we've got 2 people that we're working with. 2 people, which was what was quite infuriating at the time, going like, all of this because 2 people we've taken on. And that was that logical part of our brains going, how can this be such a big problem for 2 people? As in, we've taken 2 people on that fall into that balanced category. Because that's all it was.
Yeah.
We didn't have the masses. We were not big in those circles. And this is where when we say things in other episodes about like, look at the places that you hang out and look at who you surround yourself with and etc. In this scenario for us, we were like, well, look at where we do hang out. We do hang out in force-free environments because that's who we are. We go to force-free events because that's who we are and that's what we enjoy and that's what we believe in. We trained force-free. We studied force-free. I've just done a degree to be a cab that I'm no longer doing. But you know, I did the degree from a force-free perspective because that's what we believe. So why are we, so like our words and our actions weren't matching up?
No, we were cutting off our nose to spite our face hugely. And I remember when we both just were like, this is it. This is the pivotal moment. We need to make this decision. Are you happy to make that decision? Yes. Am I happy to make this decision? Yes. And then I remember going to bed that night. We stayed at a hotel and you asking me in the morning, okay. We just literally drained emotionally and physically and everything. And then you saying like, how do you feel about the decision we made yesterday? And I was like, it'll never change. Like, that is the decision. No regrets. That's what we need to do going forward. And there was nothing more clear from that point forward.
Yeah. It was literally like a weight off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a forced decision, like we had to.
No.
Like, because again, and I'm hoping this isn't coming across this way, but the decision was because it's what we wanted to do. It wasn't what we thought we had to do to keep the business.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. There was a part of it, I would say, that it forced our hand a little bit.
At that moment in time, it felt like it forced
because
it.
we realised that we couldn't have what we'd hoped the dream was, to bring all these people together in one group. It was never going to be as harmonious. There was always going to be people that didn't like that, whichever side they're from, and looking at the other side. And that was the thing. I was like, we cannot actually do this how we thought we were going to do it. So that kind of forced our hand. But then it naturally just went, well, why are we fighting against it?
Yeah.
And don't you remember the thing about like, oh yeah, but then we'll be alienating that side, all those people. What, 2 people?
Yeah, and this is it. It was like, and I think for us, it was that defensive nature of those 2 people and going, well, we've created a relationship with them. They're a human being to us. And I wanted to protect them because they kind of been part of our family, our little CBA family. And us being as quite protective as we are over people, that had a lot to do with it as well, I think. Like, we wasn't protecting that community, inverted commas.
No, it was the people.
We were protecting the 2 people we had known to, we had begun to really start to, create a lovely friendship with them.
Yeah.
So it was almost like, well, no, we're going to dig our heels in the ground, because why should these 2 people that have become really close friends, why should they suffer?
Yeah.
Not that community, not the whole thing, not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's been, I suppose the good news out of all of this is we're still here.
Yeah.
We're still alive and kicking.
We're on the other side of it.
And I hope everyone can see it as well, because and again, it's really hard to know because we've been in the thick of it. So you may not have seen all of this. You'd like to say definitely wouldn't have seen the impact it had on us. I don't know for certain, but maybe it could have felt like, oh, all of a sudden their marketing has changed a bit to say force-free trainers and all of that. And it's been a conscious decision, because that's, like I say, it was almost alien to work with those 2 balance trainers over everything else. That was the most alien thing if you look at it logically, because that we'd never been in that world.
Yeah. I will say we learned quite a lot from it though, didn't we?
What, the whole experience?
But like, I learned a lot about the balanced world actually, which again, for educational purposes and for just my own knowledge, I was like, oh, okay, I've learned something today. Like, I'm not saying I'm not going to go and do anything with that information, but it's just good to know more stuff. So, in that sense, we like learning. We learned about that, didn't we?
And that curiosity brain. But no, it's it's been a challenge. It has impacted the business significantly this year, both from us not being at our best performance, from upsetting people, which again, we can only say we're sorry for that, and to hopefully having had it like turned around, because again, I think there will be some of you out there that may have felt a little bit bitter about those choices, and hopefully this episode's just helped go, it was never an intentional thing. We didn't come in with that, we're going to do this, and be a bit cocky around it all.
Yeah, and hopefully this is the truth that you need. So if you had heard the jungle drums and you'd heard bits and pieces and you weren't quite sure, this is our public kind of statement on it, really, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like it's our truth, and we feel really good about owning that space now and saying like we are for force-free.
We're proud
world,
to be it,
because
aren't
we are that. Like, we've never not been that personally. Like I say, those 2 trainers we let in. Yeah, it's on us. We allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
But it's I think any learnings you can take from this is that you will, as you grow, and in some respect, this may put you off growing because it will happen. And especially, depending on the type of business that you do want, for the impact that we're wanting CBA to have, we are going to be under the spotlight a lot more. And I don't for one second think that this is...
It's not the last thing, is it?
It's not the last thing that's going to happen. There's bound to be other stuff as we continue to grow and try and support and make big, significant changes in the industry for you guys, so that you can create these incredible business structures for the force-free community, so that the message can get out to the public more. Because ultimately, that vision's never changed. That vision has always been there.
No, it's not.
Which is what is weird when we look back on it logically. It's like, why did we ever think that taking on trainers from the other side would have been a good choice?
I don't know. Because you want the best for people and their dogs, and that doesn't fit.
No, it doesn't. And again, it's that naivety of just going, oh, it's a brand new business, almost proof of concept. Let's just see if people want it. And genuinely didn't even think about it.
Yeah. And it may, just to end on this, it may have even been the fear of micro-niching, because that's effectively what it is now, is that we'd niched into business coaching for dog professionals. That's a niche. But then we're now business coaching for force-free or equivalent, ethical kind of stance and all that on dog professionals. So we've micro-niched even more. Possibly in the early days, it may not have even been a subliminal thing for us to do, but we could have been a bit worried about micro-niching or niching too much down. Don't know.
Yeah. Funny old game of business this is.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm not even going to say I hope you enjoyed the episode, because I don't feel like it was a very, maybe not entertaining or like big lesson learning, but there are lessons in there. There are threads that run through, and the importance of knowing who you're targeting, the importance of those value sets and getting them right and living by them and running the business by them, making decisions through them, and all of that stuff is, I suppose, the overarching lessons learned.
And I think hopefully just be unapologetically you, because that's all you can be. And if you piss people off along the way, it will be unintentionally, but hopefully that forgiveness can come back, because people will see that it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, and say sorry.
And that's
like
all
what
it's
we've
like,
just done. Say sorry.
Own it. It's like we've done it. I'm not saying again we don't need to, but it's actually no, I will. Just gonna do it. We are sorry. We'll own our mistake. We'll own our bit, and that's all anybody can do. It's like just be you. You will make mistakes. It's fine. It's just being a human. And this is what's going to allow people to trust you as well, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Good talk. Until the next car chat.
Yeah. See you later.